Hey there, folks. It's D-Man here. And I apologize for some of the noise because I got the AC running. It's a little hot up here. Anyway, well, today on the back on the weekend, I had picked up something at Walmart. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Walmart still has DVDs. I don't know for how much longer he's going to have DVDs or going to figure that out. Babylon 5, the complete series. It's not on Blu-ray, it's on regular DVD, but I believe this was on Max. Or is it still on Max or not? Because I remember hearing that it got taken off or something. They were planning a reboot of this series. But I think the creator decided not to, and I think that was the best choice. Feels like he's not, a creator of something that's not out for money. Yeah, not out for money, he just wanted to do it. So. Let's see. Yeah, we have essentially all the seasons. And the pilot, The Gathering, which for some odd reason is on it's on seasons 4 and 5, The Gathering. Yeah, this is the case that it was in. Kind of cool. Babylon 5 isn't for everybody, and maybe some parts of it are a little corny. The first season is kind of terrible. But, yeah, the first season of Next Generation, particularly very good. Well, there were some good episodes, yes, but beside the point. Yeah, well, I don't really like how they're put in here, because some of them can fall out, get scratched, but whatever. So, $50, which I know a lot of these collections, I remember, first started bringing these out, some of these were like, some would be like, I think I remember seeing them like $800 or $300 or something. Kind of a bit of money. Yeah, seasons 4 and 5. I really like Babylon 5. Back in the day, of course, the heavy hitter on television was Star Trek, of course. Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager. So yeah, so it was interesting to see a different type of science fiction show. And it's interesting seeing a type of different sci-fi show at the time. It was kind of unique. More of a kind of like they're on a space station. There's an Earth government. There's a space station. I remember they tried to sue the writers of Star Trek or something because they thought they infringed on Babylon 5. Because the creator claimed that maybe people at CBS had seen his pilot and then refused to do it. Mostly it was done through Warner Brothers. I've watched the animated movie that they made, and that was cool. Yeah, it's tough because a lot of the actors on this show are gone. Yeah, a lot of the great actors, the actors from the show are now gone. So. Yeah, you have to really get through kind of the nitty-gritty of Babylon 5 before you kind of get to where it kind of starts getting good or more dramatic or something. I love the writing on this show. Shows now with all the super-duper graphics and actors and whatever, the writers are just terrible. Seem to think, they just like it because it says Star Trek in the title. It's like, no, you have to do good writing in science fiction where it just doesn't feel great. Yeah, it's like Star Trek Discovery. It's like, no. And I've seen Strange New Worlds, presumably, that's crap too. Whatever. So I kind of like the Babylon 5 is kind of... there was another series... I believe, I forget what it was called, but anyway. Yeah, there was a spin-off series too, but it was like, Yeah, the CGI scenes are outdated. Of course, they were pretty much outdated when it was made. Then there was a computer PC game in Babylon 5 that like never came to be. Kind of got canceled at the last minute or something. I wish there was a real-time strategy game of Babylon 5 or something. Great series. I like all the aliens, and it's unique. It really does feel like Star Trek, all these different races and stuff. Unlike Star Trek, though, Babylon 5 it seems to be like shows how chaotic it is. All the races are kind of at each other's throats for what resources and what and some of the races were enslaved by some of the other races, and it shows like feels more realistic than Star Trek because it's like everyone isn't happy. There's always kind of problems. The Earth government is sometimes becomes evil later on, and Babylon 5 it kind of like rebels against that government, and they're kind of like there. It's like a very interesting show. Well, if you like science fiction, and maybe like some oddball science fiction stuff, maybe Babylon 5 is right up your alley. But you have to be prepared. The first season, ouch. I will admit the first season is kind of painful, but I think the first season always kind of was for a lot of science fiction shows before they get going. But yeah, as I said, the writing is great. It's just supposedly the creator thought about this all show up in the shower, so I think very creative man, I think, for creating this show. I was happy that he didn't try to go do a reboot, try to do cash grabs of this, because he's had a hard time trying to get it released. And I think it's just as well. I don't want them to try to do live action and screw it up. They could do a series for Babylon 5 in the universe, but not have to do those characters. Like there could be references, characters, but we don't actually see them on the show. I mean, there's a lot of other things they could do with it. We could have a prequel show that takes place in some different time period or whatever. But yeah, I still think that Babylon 5 is still kind of a beloved kind of cult classic science fiction show. I remember I was able to watch I think the final seasons were on TNT, had it, I think, to finish it off. I think it was somewhere else, and then the network that it was on went out of business, so then they had to move it over to TNT, and it was kind of chaotic. The Gathering is technically the pilot. I suggest that you watch The Gathering first. Maybe it will make more sense than if you just go right into the first season. A very cool I remember when sci-fi shows had pilots? Now we don't really get that anymore. We get one episode and whatever. It's we don't really get pilots anymore. Because pilots were supposed to be something that kind of showed off the show and kind of gave us, hey, this is what the show's going to be. And then, people could decide, hey, I like it. We're going to continue on the show or not. But they don't. They seem to just make these shows, and there just seems to be no oversight if they're good or anything, really. I really wanted to like Star Trek Discovery, but the way it is with everything else, they try to reboot it, rehash it, put it out there with the name on it, but then not pay homage to it. So I'm glad that Babylon 5 is still kind of its own thing. I like that. It's kind of, untapped potential, and I think that's the way it should stay. Because what I've seen, what they've been doing with just about everything, they take it and twist it, and then turn it into something weird, and that's not what we want. Yeah. Anyway, this video, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And feel free to leave any comments what are your feelings on Babylon 5. I think it's particularly a great series. It's gonna be cool to get it on DVD, you know, because you never know, these streaming services don't want to carry it or something. So I think it was on Max and it got taken off. But anyway. Yep, that's Babylon 5. Alright, well, I'll catch you guys later. Maybe I'll do a video of more gameplay. Have gameplay about something, might be more fun. Yeah, I've been playing Elden Ring, Night Rain. I've gotten further, defeated some more bosses. I can already get to the final boss already. Excuse me. Elden Ring, Night Rain is always an interesting game because, yeah, it's a weird game because every time you fight a boss, you defeat them, you know, usually you'd be like, hey, I have levels, I leveled up and I can, but in Night Rain you start over at level 1 each time, so, and I said earlier, you need to make sure you have the right elements and everything to fight the boss. It takes a little bit to play it. I'm not going to play it on single player, it's just, I think that's kind of insane, but maybe I will if my internet's not working one day or something. Alright, well, I'll see you guys later, man. See you guys later. Bye.